Hello, world. My name is Pin Valentine, and welcome to Catching Up number 15, where our upload schedule is about as consistent as Troy's sex life. Now, sorry for not doing an episode last week. I have been so incredibly busy that I almost kind of didn't feel like doing it, even if I wasn't busy. Now, I have Thaddeus Trill with me. He does music. You look up Young Trillion on SoundCloud or YouTube. You can find his shitty music there.
Hey.
Hey, I'm just stating the truth, man. And we have Troy with us. He does nothing.
Oh. Hey, at
Ever.
least.
So don't even worry about it. And then, of course, there's me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're still one person away from 30 subscribers. Maybe if I get 30 subscribers, maybe I'll be more consistent in my uploading. We'll see. But more importantly, subscribe to my Minecraft channel if you haven't. Just look up Pin Valentine without the MX. You should be able to find it. And the reason why you're going to do that is because some exciting things look like they're going to start happening for me, Minecraft-wise, on YouTube. And I want you all to be there with me for that. And hopefully I can get AJ to join me soon. That's my own fault that she hasn't yet. So what's going on? Oh, Troy, we don't talk to robots, man. You're going to have to hold off a second, let your mic clear out.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anything. Maybe that's the news. Maybe he's turned into a robot. Now we know.
I wouldn't
Troy's a robot.
Now he can refer to his dick like a jackhammer. Oh my god, Jesus.
Look at my dick.
Oh, even the fucking robot spaceships in the Independence Day movies didn't sound so fucking robotic, Troy. Jesus Christ.
No, what's going on? Speaking of shitty music or whatnot, my album's going to be coming out really soon. I just have one more verse to write for one of my songs. And then I'm going to release a 5-song, I guess not really an album, more of an EP. And it should be good.
On SoundCloud?
SoundCloud and YouTube. I'm going to release it more as like a CD
YouTube for just a minute. Because you're robot-y, I'm going to give you a minute. There we go. Okay, so it's coming out on YouTube and SoundCloud?
One of the songs is, because the others are going to be put in the CD, and you actually have to get the CD in order to know the other songs. But there's one song I consider kind of the flagship of the album and whatnot, and that's going to be shown for free.
The title
Get people
song.
intrigued. Oh, yeah.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
I've
I've improved a lot in like 2 years, so it shouldn't be crappy as you think. But then again, you're not really into the kind of music I make, so it wouldn't really matter.
That's a good thing, though. Hopefully, it's actually good this time. My hopes aren't very high, though.
Well, are your hopes higher for me or higher that Troy will quit being a robot?
Both. Let's find out if he's robotic still. Let's see, how do I unmute him? I think he has to unmute himself. No. Yeah, Troy, there you go. Are you still robotic?
Hello?
He's probably robotic. Yes! I hear him.
I don't hear shit.
What? I just heard Troy.
Hello?
Okay, now it's bad again.
I still don't hear nothing.
You know what? Maybe we should move on, otherwise... maybe we should move on, otherwise we'll never get to the show. Right?
Yeah, we've been to the show. This is the normal show, I thought. Anyway. So good things might be happening for me on Minecraft-wise. There's a channel called Evolution in a Nutshell, right? And as simply as I can explain it, because it's kind of a long explanation, one of my favorite Minecraft YouTubers does a series called Evolution. Evolution is a server that a bunch of YouTubers play on, and they coexist in this world. That's all it is. They're playing survival Minecraft together, right?
Okay.
And there's a channel called Evolution in a Nutshell where they recap everything that has happened during that week, right? And I watched it for a while, and their upload schedule wasn't always so frequent because of writing issues, and their comedy falls a little flat sometimes, and
Probably
it's
better.
yeah. So I commented on the video. I said, "Have you guys ever considered using a different writer?" And they said, "Actually, we're looking for one. It's just hard to find one or something like that." Oh God, no, it's ugly.
Troy's big.
So I commented.
You're an asshole.
Yes, I am. So I commented. I said, "I'm nobody important, but what if I gave it a shot?" And so they're giving me a shot. So I'm writing an episode for this week, which requires a lot of work.
Nice.
I have to watch like 20 videos and a few live streams that are like 2 hours long of YouTubers. Some of them I'm not really, fond of. There's a couple of YouTubers on the survival server that I'm not really, a fan of. I think some of them are kind of boring, but that's beside the point. I still enjoy the server. I'm writing for the server, and degrees of separation. Meaning I might get, if this all goes well, eventually, somewhere down the line, I might be able to meet some of my favorite Minecrafters. That'd be fun.
I just pooped a little bit.
I hope so.
Anyways, have you seen the most wonderful live stream of, Gary the Fish?
Gary the Fish?
What has G-Man done this time?
Oh, dude.
What did he do? I don't know. Because I haven't watched.
So, like, his live stream title was, "Is the Bible more reliable than science?"
Yeah, I remember seeing him do a video on that before the live stream, and I saved the video, meaning to watch it later and then probably do a reply on it. But I never got around.
And oh my God, the flat earthers just came out. I mean, it was in full force. Oh man, he sent the link out, but like, oh, I can't join. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a new account real fast, and then I was like, wasn't talking. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking join his fucking shit because he's just going to fucking interrupt me everything I have to say.
Wait, you actually tried to join?
Yeah.
You're braver than I am.
You feel that way.
You're braver than I am.
I'd join if I wasn't permabanned.
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I think I'm starting to move away from the Great Debate community.
I like messing with people. It's fucking hilarious.
It is fun, but...
Hey, welcome to the club. I started moving away from the Great Debate community too. I mean, I still, every now and then, I check what's going on, but you don't see me participate in like those G2C hangouts or Steve McRae hangouts anymore. Doesn't mean I will never do it in the future, but it's just I have other things to be doing, right?
I mean, I got other things I'm trying to do. I've got a whole other YouTube channel I'm trying to work on.
I masturbate.
That has nothing to do with this stuff. Me and Troy got masturbation schedules.
We have our own YouTube about how to masturbate the proper way in English form.
In English form, huh? I'm sorry for missing our masturbation session this week. I'm sorry.
Oh shit!
But yeah, it's just
You're right. It does waste a lot of time.
It does. I'm just tired of the petty shit, the arguments, that everybody replies to everybody back all the time, and it's way too much to keep up with, and I just don't want to.
Well, the thing what happened is at least for the Great Debate community, because when I first joined, before there was an actual official Great Debate community thing set up by Steve McRae, when I first joined, there was actually quite a few interesting characters on, like a few people that would be frequent and they'd actually be interesting to engage with and whatnot. And then what happened is that some of those people I really liked kind of quit showing up to the community, and it kind of just lost its flavor, because then who was left, they kind of feel like clones of each other.
Yeah, they do, and it's just it can only be interesting for so long before you just heard everything, you know?
Yeah, like some of the best characters in that community actually left, or I've not seen them. Like they barely do hangouts and stuff. And it's like, well, with some of these people gone, like sure they might have been stupid or whatnot, but with some of the charismatic people gone, it's like it just the community loses its life blood,
Yeah,
and it just feels very empty. It just feels like there's a bunch of Steve McRae clones, and
yeah. I mean,
maybe the occasional G-Man clone or whatever, and a few other people. But yeah,
maybe if Gary, comes out and says that it's okay to rape a child, then I'll get interested. I mean, I don't want to step away from that.
we noticed that one guy that Skylar Fiction interviewed that was really crazy, and he actually said something like that.
Yeah, that guy, that's stupid. I did see the beginning of that interview, and I saw his Skylar's video on the guy. What was that, from last week or something like that? And when I first heard of the guy, I'm like, yes, reply material. I'm gonna do a response video to this motherfucker. And then I watched it, and I'm like, why would I reply to this guy? You can't. I don't even know what the fuck he's saying.
And I would rape a kid if I wanted to.
No, like even Skylar Fiction is like, what the fuck is this dude saying? He talks like so. I don't know. He talks like he's from the poorest of the poorest neighborhoods in the world.
A Trump neighborhood. Sorry.
But I do agree with the comments, though. Some of the comments were like, I want to see this guy go up against Gary in a debate. And I'm like, yeah.
That'd be golden.
I want to watch that shit.
Two idiots.
I know you would be interested, but I'd love to see you go up against G-Man in a debate.
I would only go against G-Man in a debate.
If I did it.
No, I would only do it if I were in control of the format. Because I've seen him in pretty much every format of a debate that he could do. Formal, informal, conversation, anything. And it's not even whether or not he's right or wrong. It's that he's so fucking disrespectful when it comes to his opponent that I'm not willing to give him a chance to have a say in what the format would be. It doesn't matter if it's formal. It doesn't matter if it's not his time to talk. If it's like timed where the person has 5 minutes, he will talk all through that 5 fucking minutes and not let the other guy fucking talk. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. Troy, you're
last night. He was like,
that's better.
Yeah, Troy was going on. I am a robot.
Oh no! I'm jump out and jump back in again, Troy.
That was crazy.
Oh my!
I am transforming.
Sounded like Betty White's vibrator there for a second. No, you were about to say about something?
So what if the format is, because here's the thing, when I did my debate, G-Man wasn't a moderator or anything, somebody else was.
Yeah.
And they made sure things didn't get too chaotic.
Well, that's the thing is, in your debate with him, the moderator was decent. I don't think they were good enough, but they were decent because Gary still talked over you. He still interrupted you. And the only time I ever saw you do the same back was, he was doing it already. So why the fuck not, right?
Right, pretty much.
I'm almost tempted to say I would do a debate with Gary if and only if we do separate videos so that'll be our turn.
Right.
That's the only thing. And we get to post each other's videos on our channel so everybody can see the full debate, Like I would do a video. I would do my video of my opening statements, and then he would do his, and then a video of rebuttals, he would do his, and then maybe we would have an open discussion. More than likely not, because I don't want to be overrun. So
right, but the thing is that that'd be kind of boring if you just did the formal style. I mean, I'd do that for like opening and maybe closing, but to do that for the whole thing, the older rebuttals, I don't know.
No, the thing is, Most anybody else, almost anybody else, I'd be willing to do a conversation debate. But when I want to debate, I want to fucking debate. I don't want to have to fight to be able to talk. You know, I'm not going to do that. So if that's the type of debate that he wants to have, I'm not interested, which is the only type of debate he ever has.
Could just give him the metal minister treatment.
I don't know. I think I'd get blocked pretty quick.
Oh well.
Speaking of Metal Minister, I was supposed to do a debate with Metal Minister like 2 months ago, and then I never did because I just lost interest.
Yeah.
I haven't even thought about it because like right now I'd be like maybe I should just do that debate and let that be my final hurrah or something like that in terms of the great debate community, but I've got so much other shit going on with YouTube that I almost kind of don't want to, you know?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's like I even did like a post kind of saying, well, here would be my kind of final. I don't want to say final because you never know if you might come back, but my final goodbye, in a sense, at least for participating in it heavily. The great debate community. I thought about doing like a little thing about arguing for my misotheism, and I even put a little post on the great debate community about it. However, I wanted like some theists to like challenge me on that because I was kind of saying I was going to think to myself, okay, first come, first serve for some of the major theists in the community. But I didn't really get a response from some of the theists I wanted to respond to it. And there's like one other person that responded, and they said that if they still want to do it, I'm supposed to email them and stuff. And say, that's way too much work.
Yeah, see, I don't even need a theist to argue with, you know? Like
no, I mean I said a theist, but okay.
Well, I don't need a particular type of person to debate with. I mean, Skylar Fiction, I guess, is an atheist now. I guess I don't know what he is,
Yeah.
and he and I disagree on morality. I see it as more subjective, and he sees it as subjective, but in a different way. And I disagree with him on it. And I'd be willing to have a conversation with him about it. I don't know about a debate because I don't know if it's debate worthy. But
no, that would be the problem.
I'd be interested in having it.
That would be the problem if I were to go up against like one of the atheist people with misotheism and whatnot. It's like because we agree on half the same things. You know, the God of the Bible doesn't seem all that cool, to say the least. So what would we even argue about? So that's why I kind of wanted a theist to. But okay.
Yeah, well, you can talk to almost anybody and find something you disagree with, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be the simple things like whether or not does God exist. It could be something simple like, is there a rational explanation for the Exodus? Something like that.
Right. Yeah, and I understand. But mine's not really in existence. It's more of a, I guess you could say, morality issue. Because I still believe God exists. But there's like a reason why I don't worship God and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like if I was working with an atheist, we'd kind of be on the same page for many of the different things. Except for just the existence and stuff. And that kind of boils down to the typical arguments you've already heard from half the theists out there.
It could be, God could exist. He just might not be the God of the Bible.
He could be the god of porn.
He could be the God of porn.
Well, we already kind of know it's Troy, but
yeah,
gotta keep that secret.
It's Troy. Troy is the god of porn and very specific types of slime.
Cum slime, shit slime. You name it, I'm.
Yeah, Troy's like in his human like avatar form. If you see him in like his full blown like God mode, it'll blow your mind, dude.
Yeah, because he's literally a shit slime.
Did you know his real name is Bob?
Yeah, the guy who played him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fucking Bob. I was like, really? We can't
Bob.
name him something cooler?
Hey, Bob. You know, you're really
Georgie.
fucking Bob.
Would you like a balloon? They float.
So, did you guys
spread your cheeks, Georgie?
Hey, Troy, shut up. Did you guys see the trailer for Infinity War?
Haven't yet. I have seen people review it.
Troy, have you seen it?
Yeah.
I think it looks fantastic.
The only thing I'm happy about is Iron Man getting his ass whipped.
Yeah, that's my big prediction for the movie so far is that Iron Man dies in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, because he did. Tony or Robert said that he's done. And Thor, he's done after Infinity War. Well, no, Avengers War. I mean, I think he lives in part 2.
Infinity War isn't an Avengers movie. Avengers 4 is after that.
Okay, I'm just gonna say though, if they actually had the gall to like start killing off characters that are well known and stuff, I think I'd probably respect those movies a bit more. One of the things that kind of pisses me off about a lot of these superhero movies and that is that you kind of already know that the good guys are going to survive half the time. There's like very few exceptions to that rule.
Well,
maybe you should kill off.
Well, the thing is, there's two things about that. The first is that they have to kill off 1 or 2 people because some of their things are going off. Vision has to die because he's got one of the fucking stones in his head.
Which I'm happy because I hate him.
I like Vision, but whatever.
Well, Doctor Strange might just revive him somehow, but okay.
No, because he gets his ass kicked too.
Well, yeah, because he's gonna have his stone taken away. But Robert Downey Jr.'s contract is up, and I think he wants to bow out of the universe now. I think he's had his fill. The guy that plays Cap, I can't remember. His contract is up.
Evans, it's Evans something.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Wow, we might actually see people.
Hemsworth, where's his name? Leon Hemsworth. He's done.
Hemsworth. Liam Hemsworth.
I think
no,
I like that.
Liam Hemsworth is his brother that was in the Hunger Games.
Oh no, it's Chris Hemsworth.
You dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, sorry.
No, so
I don't fucking know. I don't care about him.
And the second thing is, no major characters aside from Quicksilver, and who cares about Quicksilver, died. But I think that's the beauty.
That's a dick move.
Who cares about him?
The beauty of
let's kill him off because no one cares.
No, the beauty of the Marvel movies isn't about who dies. It's about what can you take away from them. Right? Robert Downey Jr. gets his sanity taken away from him. Bruce Banner gets his identity taken away from him. Right? Scarlet Witch gets her brother taken away. Probably her lover too, but whatever.
Incest is good zest.
Incest is wincest. So, yes, and then you see the characters. You see what's his name? Cap. You see Cap get his freedom taken away. Right? So it's you see what's taken away from them and how that affects them, because death is just death. That's the end of their story. But when you take away,
say about this or something, holy man.
But when you take Iron Man's sanity away and you give him PTSD instead, how does that affect the character? How does that affect the shit that he does? I think that's far more important than just killing somebody off.
Which in Infinity War, half of them gets murdered anyways.
Well, that's probably not the case because most of them still have movies coming out afterwards.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense unless those were supposed to come out before this happened, timeline changes and that.
And I'm hoping that after this is over, Galactus is the next villain.
I don't think so. The Nerdist predicted that Galacticus won't make an appearance in the MCU at all.
Oh, fuck him.
No, probably because the first Fantastic Four series screwed it up that bad, right?
Yeah, there's a big ass fucking. Was he like a storm or cloud? It's like shit.
There was one villain. I can't remember his name, but he's Karn the Conqueror or something like that. I don't know. He's a time traveling mad scientist guy. I really want him to be the next main villain. I think that'd be cool.
I want your mom to be the next villain.
I don't know. That takes she just rolls over your ass with her fat blubber. I mean,
just push Iron Man.
I think even Hulk would go, no, thank you.
Me Hulk run away now.
Hulk did not sign up to fight a literal planet. Bye bye.
Wow.
No, and the cool thing is, and here's something I don't know if you guys know this or not, but we don't know anything that's happening after the fourth Avengers movie. They won't even give us a title for the fourth Avengers movie because they said it would spoil everything, right? But they have plans for after that, but they won't tell us what those plans are, right? And I think it has something to do with the Fox merchandise because Disney is acquiring 20th Century Fox. And 20th Century Fox are the ones, they're the ones that do X-Men. They're the ones that do
they're
the ones that do Fantastic Four. So I think, and Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is after the fourth Avengers movie, is supposedly meant to be galactic. It's like there's a lot of like outer space shit going on, and who better than the first family, the Fantastic Four? It'd be nice to see the X-Men come in. Deadpool could probably come in the way he is now, Ryan Reynolds and everything.
Unless somehow his
PG fucking movie. It has to be rated R.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it has to be rated R.
Soon.
Well, Disney
uses
other studios. What?
If Disney acquires that, just adding on to Troy's point, it's really doubtful that we'd ever get like a rated R anything anymore.
No. That's not true at all because Disney owns a lot of companies, right? And they use those other companies to make rated R material. Like shit, what's that fucking I See Dead People movie? I can't remember. But they used another company to make that movie. So they use other companies to make rated R movies. They still own those companies. It's just not under the name.
Right, and I'm not saying that can't happen, but I'm just saying as far as marketing and that goes, it makes more sense to try to play it a bit safe so you can get as big of an audience as possible. Let's keep it PG like the Marvel movies are. And then you get more people to watch it in theaters.
Well, no, that's not necessarily the case because Deadpool is one of the most successful movies to come out in the last 10 years, right? And it's rated R. So I don't think the rating matters. It's more about what the people want to see. And the people wanted to see a Deadpool movie, rated R or not. And that's what they got.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it could happen.
Chimichanga.
I guess just with the whole, it's almost like no one ever learned any lessons from was it Parker Brothers Monopoly game, but what happens when a company has a monopoly over everything and how bad that can be. But looks like that's already happening if Disney acquires everything.
If Disney acquires everything, that is a bad sort of thing. But still, Marvel's, even though Disney owns Marvel's still kind of its own company, though, isn't it? They own Pixar, and Pixar is still kind of its own company, right? So they
kind of, they're barely distinguishable. Like you always think Disney when you think Pixar.
Yeah, you do, but Disney doesn't make the movies. Pixar does. Disney doesn't even really say what goes into the movies. Pixar does. Pixar, yeah, they're owned by Disney, and yes, it's Disney Pixar is what goes on the movie titles and shit like that. But they are still mostly autonomous. They're just owned. That's pretty much it. So I think Disney acquiring 20th Century Fox is not such a bad thing in this case. I don't think it's that bad of a deal.
I don't know. I just feel like if Disney has like a really bad sort of move or whatnot, then all the companies are affected because it's like the head of all of them.
Well, no, you still got other fantastic competition like Universal, shit like that. MGM Studios, they still make some great films.
What happened to What happened to the Hulk being owned by Universal? I thought that was originally the thing.
No, Hulk is owned by Sony. No, it is Universal, huh?
Yeah,
No,
that's weird.
they still own Hulk, I think. But they're giving Marvel all the rights to do whatever they want with Hulk.
Hmm.
So Marvel still makes money off Hulk.
You know, they could just do that instead of trying to buy it. Maybe 20th Century Fox would just give them the rights for Deadpool, so Deadpool can feature in something with the other characters.
That wouldn't
Since
be.
they belong to the universe anyhow.
I mean, well, they could do that. I mean, Sony did it with Spider-Man, didn't they? I don't know. I think it's more like, I guess the two companies feel like Disney could help make the company better. I don't know. I don't really care. I just want to see Wolverine in Avengers.
Okay.
Even though that's probably not going to happen for like 20 years. But
Yeah, just let it go.
he died. It's done. Let him die. It's all right.
That's what I say. You know,
Some
we keep
people,
doing these reboots and stuff. It just gets kind of like, it doesn't feel like there's any weight to it because it's like, oh, now we're just waiting for the entire thing to be rebooted again. Everybody who is dead is alive again.
well, what's some people are predicting, I think Nerdist predicted this as well, that instead of just rebooting X-Men, they're going to start like this whole X-Men versus Avengers thing using the current cast or whoever's there when that gets started.
I guess that's the way of doing it.
Yeah,
It's just
or
movies
doing
in
like
general.
a Secret War thing. And if you don't know what Secret War is, I'm not going to explain it to you because I don't remember.
Just like movies and that in general, like just as somebody who is a writer, kind of wants some of my stuff to go on the big screen sometime of that. I just wish there to be more, I guess, original things. Because a lot of times what I'm seeing nowadays is there's a few original films, but a lot of times what gets the spotlight is like reboots and based on this story and based on a comic and stuff. It's like
I
comic
don't.
book movies reboot of something that was already made. Comic book movie remake of something that was already made. It's like come up with something original. Remember back in the day, it seemed like there's a lot more original movies. Like
It's
they took more.
well, that's not even completely true too. Most of the most popular movies since the beginning of film were based on books. I mean, so I'm not too worried about it. And the Marvel movies don't follow any one comic book. Yeah, they're based on things like the Civil War storyline, but it's more an original take on the Marvel universe for the movies.
I guess I just find it kind of annoying sometimes when and maybe this is my fault because of how I grew up with, but it's like some of the comics, someone's like, oh, that was interesting. Like, did you predict that or whatnot? I'm talking with a friend, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, that was in the comics. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't have the same surprise as somebody like me who's more of an outsider to this universe. I didn't grow up with those comics. These movies are my, way of getting to know the characters and stuff.
Well, I found I don't read the comic books. I never really have, but I do know a lot of the shit that happens in the comic books because I follow those YouTube channels, right? And even then, I watch the movies and still get surprised because they never follow the comic books. I mean, yeah, the Civil War storyline was based on Civil War comic books from like 2012 or whenever they were, right? But you still don't expect Bucky and Cap to beat the shit out of Captain America at the end. So I still get surprised by shit, even knowing what's going on in the, knowing what's going on in the comic books because it's not accurate to the comic books.
Fair enough. Okay.
Have you seen a movie called The Wonder with Owen Wilson? The kid that was like retarded.
Troy, you're going robot-y again. All I heard was Owen Wilson, and all I could think of was, wow, 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 wow. But in the meantime, I'm gonna move on real quick to the title of the video, though, because we haven't gotten to that yet. So, are you guys familiar with Al Franken?
Do we have to?
You don't have to.
I mean, I know he
Can you say the name
has a
again?
girl's boob.
Al Franken.
No. It
Is he
sounds
the
like
guy
his.
that touched the girl's boob?
Yes and no. Al Franken is a senator in the United States, and he's a cool guy. He's a guy that I admire as a senator. He doesn't take shit for nothing, and he was one of the biggest opponents to the new tax plan the Republicans dished out, and he was accused of sexual assault by several women. The only one that I'm familiar with is a picture that he took of where he kind of hover-handed over a sleeping chick's tits. He didn't actually touch them, and it was a joke picture that he took like 20 years ago or some shit like that before he was even close to being a senator. This was back when he was still a comedian, and after that, some more people came out against him. He's claiming that these things didn't happen the way that they're saying, but he doesn't want to really make a big deal about it because he knows that these women deserve to be heard, whether they're right or wrong, and it should be investigated either way. And earlier this week, he resigned his position in the Senate as a result. I guess he felt like he was being pushed out of the Senate because of this, which I think is interesting because I don't think he actually thinks that he did these things, and B, I think that's really classy of him because I think that shows that he was accused of sexual assault, maybe didn't even do it, and bowed out anyway because he felt like he was a blight on the Senate when there are other people like child molesters who are still running and might end up winning a seat in whatever governmental office they're running for. And there's people like Trump who have like 18 or 20 women come out against him recently this past month about sexual assault, and all he's doing is throwing shade on Al Franken.
Interesting PR move, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, if you wanted to be a senator, like that was the thing you worked for, knows how long to do. It kind of sucks to just step down. I don't know.
No, I agree. I do agree that it steps down, but I do think it shows a massive amount of class that some other politicians should take note from.
Like Roy Moore, that little bitch.
Like Roy Moore. Or Donald Trump.
The way I see it, though, it's just...
Or Anthony Weiner.
I don't know
the irony of showing your wiener to a kid.
Such a good name.
Anthony Weiner.
You can always remember who he is, especially since his big controversy was that he took a picture of his wiener and sent it to somebody. Anthony Weiner showed his wiener. Wiener.
How small it is.
Did he name it Anthony?
No, it's Little Ann. Little Ann.
Oh, Anthony Jr.
Little Ann.
It curves up in a little hole, like Steve. Me.
Feed me.
It looks like sloth.
you know you got a problem.
Juice.
You know you got a problem when your dick looks like the sloth from Ice Age.
He just warts his eyes.
It sounds like a bunch of seagulls.
I know, it's awesome.
My.
Oh my god.
Gerald! Fuck, Anthony Weiner. You molested my wiener.
Wiener, dicky dinner. Trill, do you have anything else for us this week? Or over the last 2 weeks since we missed last week because, whatever.
Well, I mean, there was some controversy, but it seems a lot of it's just related to the over talked about Me Too hashtag kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh,
I think I'm desensitized to it. It's like, come on, dude.
I'm pretty desensitized to it.
That's just the only thing that keeps kind of coming up anymore. It's like now there's There's accusations, according to the channel that I followed. Now there's accusation of something happening in the music industry. And there's a musician saying, "Oh, great, so that's happening in my world too."
It's apparently happening everywhere. And I mean, let's face it. We know that this shit was going on in Hollywood forever, but now I'm starting to wonder who's telling the truth and who's lying.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I know I had that on my brain like the first time the story came out, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's just
like
attention. You could probably blame like some of the, like the whole anti-SJW movement for some of that thinking, but at the same time, it's like that is kind of a valid point. I don't know who's just saying things for attention, who's making a big deal out of something that's not actually a big deal, and who's being legit.
Yeah, I think the story that started it all, I could be wrong, is the Taylor Swift story where the radio DJ grabbed her ass during a photo shoot, like reached up under her skirt and grabbed her ass while the picture was being taken. And he claims he didn't do it, and then you look at the picture and you're like, yeah, he fucking did it. I mean, he fucking did it. But I think that's the story. And she won the lawsuit. She won the lawsuit. She only sued him for
only $1.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the story that got it all, and I'm glad she did that story. But now it started this whole avalanche of who's telling the truth and who's lying.
If it was here in Canada, could have sued him for a penny. It'd be really hard to actually get a penny because they're out of circulation.
I'm going to sue somebody for 500 European dollars or 500 Canadian dollars, which is worth 50 cents here.
You guys are in the dollar lead right
now. Roses are red, violets are blue. That is their color. That is their hue.
My apologies, fucking just went up my ass for a little bit.
Is it cold in Canada right now?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cold.
Of course, it's cold in Canada. It's always cold in Canada.
It's cold.
We had a warm summer.
It's colder than Elsa's cunt up there, huh?
What, tropical or California standards? But it was pretty warm for us. Like it was really hot.
What, like 40 degrees? No, it's colder than Elsa's country. Huh? How'd you like to go down on that frosty bitch? All of a sudden, she's like, "Why'd you stop? My tongue got stuck."
It's so hot. There was only a centimeter of snow on the ground. No, I was kidding.
So you're telling me that Canadians can actually sweat now? Wow, you guys are evolving.
Canadians can't sweat. They have no sweat glands. It's too cold up there to sweat. They get hypothermia.
We have to live.
Canadians are a different species of people, Troy.
Now we're probably going to get our big thing of snow, though. Last year we got it in February, and February snow was really, really, really bad. And that's just going to suck for having to commute. So hopefully it won't be in February.
Oh, please. I know damn well that the snow is not stopping your fucking dog sleds.
You fucking Eskimo ass.
Troy, what you don't know.
In order for the sled to work, what if it's just flat snow? It doesn't work. You guys, I'll expect you guys to know how a sled works, but I mean, you kind of need the gravity to kind of push it down. So,
Troy, what you don't know is that Trill is actually like all white Canadians. He's super fucking white, like Snow White, because they have to blend in with the snow, or else the polar bears are gonna kill him. They have to blend in. They actually walk around naked.
You might shave your pubes.
Yeah, they walk around naked with their shriveled up balls right up to their fucking. Which one of you are women? I can't tell. Your balls are too shriveled. Everything's shriveled up inside the body.
Your balls go to your paint on myself, white paint, because otherwise I will get eaten by the polar bears.
Yeah, polar bears are savage, man. They're savage.
Yeah, dude, they'll butt rape you, then eat you.
Not the best place to be mixed.
So like a lot of Canada speaks French, huh?
Yes, actually, pretty much everything here has like bilingual packaging on it. like
Do you speak
English.
French?
Nope.
So if everybody there speaks French, does that mean that they give up a lot?
Oh.
I give up on my marriage.
I think because they teach it in school as like a second language kind of thing to learn. Like there's actually just a French class, but I found French really boring. I never really learned French. So
Omelette
even
du
though I
fromage.
was supposed to know a bit of French, I ended up knowing like barely any.
Omelette du fromage. Jesus Christ.
Me horny for my ass.
Is Canada gonna build a wall around the United States? They should.
And when
Hang on, maybe you guys might do it for us.
We probably will. But we're gonna build it on your side of the border just to piss you guys off a lot, and then you guys are just gonna be like, "Oh, that's not a nice thing to do, eh?"
Yeah.
and then like we will impeach, and then he will go over there to rule, like in the South Park episode.
When my family went to Disneyland, how when we were going through the border from Canada to America, there's like all these security cameras and stuff, and some guy actually got suspicious, so he made us come into the office and stuff. And then meanwhile, we're coming from like America to Canada, like the Canada thing to let you in. That entrance only has like one camera, and we were able to go in pretty much no problem.
Hey, yo, can I come in there? Oh yeah, just leave your keys. You're all right. Do you have any fruits and vegetables on you? No. All right, you're good.
You got any maple syrup on you, lads?
They're not Irish. What the fuck? An Irish Canadian. Oh, I tell you, do you have any fucking maple syrup on you, lads? Hey.
Well, I mean, there can be Irish Canadians. I mean,
those would be the whitest Canadians with the orangest hair I have ever seen. They would look like snow on fire.
Maybe you can call like Newfoundland like our pseudo Ireland. Close enough, right?
Are you Irish? No, I'm only pseudo Irish.
An African American, African Canadian.
They would be albino, I'm sure.
Oh damn!
Wow.
I'm sorry, Drew.
I guess that's okay. I mean, you mean it's known by now that I actually dye my hair black because it's actually like white. But,
yeah, you albino. You're an albino African, Drew.
Pretty much. It's funny we were talking about Irish because I'm also part Irish too. I'm like a mixture of a bunch of different things.
I'm sure you are. If you're Canadian, you're probably a mixture of everything on the planet.
Even Muslim. Hey, would you guys...
Could you imagine a Muslim Canadian is like, motherfucker, do not piss me off, I threw a snowball at you. Everybody clear out the embassy before I throw a snowball at it.
Please.
Please?
Think about the Middle Eastern talk.
Could you imagine if Canadians did 9/11 and be like, oh, we're going to take over your plane. Is that okay? Will you get out of the cockpit, please? No, get out of here. Okay.
How about the Muslim town that got... What do you call it? Jerusalem.
Yeah, Trump's a moron, isn't he?
He's getting impeached.
He's got to be impeached. I mean, come on now. Go ahead.
I was going to say to Troy and you guys, but that stereotypical Canadian accent, I'm not sure where it comes from, but here in British Columbia, we're pretty much almost indistinguishable from Americans, as you can probably tell. So I don't speak like that. It's got to be one of the other provinces.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't sound like Gary.
Our teeth ain't yellow, Thrill.
Accent-wise, BC feels a lot like America.
Anyways, about the Trump being dumb.
Trump is so fucking dumb that during that speech, his teeth tried to run away. You see that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to put up with this fucking shit no more. I'm out.
I need to leave.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, Trill, his dentures fell out at the end of his speech.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
they're like,
that,
fuck this shit. I'm out. I didn't sign up for this fucking shit.
I think that his wife is actually
I guess
tranny.
I guess that means I forgot to mention our new policy about indentured servitude.
It's like they said, fuck this. I came in here because the rent was low. Your other teeth moved out probably for the same fucking reason I'm about to move out. You is dumb as shit, and I ain't about to be responsible for this fucking bullshit. Bye.
I think that his wife is a tranny.
Fired.
Oh, G-Man's alive.
Oh god. Oh well.
I'm going to watch it. Anyway,
you have fun watching that. I'm not gonna join in. I'm probably gonna get back to YouTube.
I think his wife is a tranny, and then
why?
Because like she's an ugly hoe.
Those conspiracy theories again.
She has a dick, and he has no teeth. Well. We have a good situation here.
Finally, something Trump might be good at.
Giving head and taking up the boot.
Don't grab him by the hair, though. It might come off.
Hey, toupee. Fucking dude. He's a moron. We have a moron. So I guess the tax bill isn't going to go through.
It already went through. They voted yes.
Huh. The fuck?
I know. I don't even know how the fuck that happened.
Well, great. We're going to be poor.
Well, have fun.
Troy, you and I were already poor.
Hey,
I'm going to be even more poor.
Hey, Phil, you know that if the net neutrality passes, it hurts you, right? It hurts everybody, not just America.
It depends because it could actually be a thing here, but as far as like actual, it depends actually who your provider that is, your ISP. Here we have a few different providers that you guys don't seem to have, or maybe you do and I'm just not aware of it. But
no, our internet is shit in general because, like,
it's America. America Wi-Fi sucks.
Yeah, I mean they play this game where like they make deals with each other. Like, we'll broadcast here, you go broadcast. We have no competition with each other, and we can do whatever we want.
Well, do you have Rogers and Shaw up there?
No.
The fuck is that? Rogers Shaw?
Both Rogers and Shaw, those are two ISPs that we have for like cable and stuff, and TELUS.
Now
we
have Cox.
Cable show. Yeah,
See?
Cox cable.
You know, me and Troy love Cox. We can't get enough. Cox is amazing.
With that being said, if our ISPs have some sort of thing when it comes to net neutrality, then we'll be screwed. But we don't use the same ISPs as you guys necessarily.
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna make a internet service called the Roger Moores Incorporated.
I think Trill is lucky to have internet at all. I mean, traditionally, the Canadian way of sending a message is putting a letter in a polar bear's mouth and slapping it on the ass, telling it to go, boy.
Oh man!
You see the way
you send a letter, and 2 weeks later, you get a reply that just says "LOL."
You see the way my uncle tossed letters to each other? He'll paint a letter at a rock and just toss it to people.
So you wait a few days later and just the letter arrives like in pieces. You can't even read it.
Yeah,
it didn't survive the trip.
A little bit of shit on it.
A poached bear just walks by the doorstep. Sorry.
Sorry.
Fucking Canada. Oh Canada. Oh Canada. Just give us your maple syrup. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, but
the Canadian theme song sounds so depressing, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I bet you. Like, a mentally retarded person wrote that. No, I'm not trying to be rude, but
I don't know.
ours
Do I hear
ain't
you,
better.
bro?
To be
Have
fair,
you
your
heard
theme song is like
theme song?
I would call it theme song.
National
theme
anthem.
Yeah, it's a theme
It's
song.
a theme song. It's a theme song.
I like the
To be fair, your theme song sounds weird to us too.
Russian theme song. President. I don't know how to say it.
Wow. Okay.
And Putin, or Putin, whatever his fucking name is, he's gonna run for what the fuck he is again?
Didn't he just win the presidency last year?
Yeah, but
The American presidency?
damn! I didn't caught that. Yeah, because
Anyway,
he has his nuts in a glass bottle. He's like,
We
"Hey,
know.
Trump, you ever want your nuts back? You better come get it, bitch."
Drink it, bitch. All right, I'm moving on to the debate question of the day.
Debate of the
week.
day. You mean the night?
Yeah, whatever. I said words and they made sense in my head. Okay, that's enough from me. And
The debate of the moment.
yeah, this one could be polarizing. We'll have to see. Is feminism a bad thing? Posted by Chloe Dennis.
Well, this is gonna last an extra half hour, folks. Okay.
This might last until one of us leaves.
I'll read some of the comments. First off, I'll
last
ask
show. So thanks for joining.
So is feminism a bad thing? Which do you think has the most? Yes or no?
Yes.
I would say no because of how liberal people are becoming over there in your country.
The answer is 64% for yes, 36 for no. People think it's a bad thing, apparently.
Wow.
Post, yeah. Let me read some of the comments here. For some of the yes, we have Black Jesus. We all know Jesus is brown.
Not good of a thing, yo, man.
Black Jesus said modern feminism is in most Western cultures. However, feminism in Western culture in most of the past was necessary, and modern feminism in cultures like that in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia is still necessary. Snacks Attack says this must be a fat fuck. Says past feminism was good. Feminism today is bad. Bjork Havardjur. I know. Said traditional feminism is a good thing. Troy, you're robot-y again. Shut up. Said traditional feminism is a good thing. No one will argue that. Modern day third wave feminism, however, is not about equality, but instead a distorted form of equality.
I agree.
Toxic. Then we got from the no side.
Okay.
We have Komodo Dragon 8 said, have you not seen the state of other countries? Theris said, feminism is not a women are better than men statement. It is a women are just as equal as men statement and should be treated as such. Let's see. I'm reading these are random, so I don't know what they're saying. Turtle Bro, feminism isn't about women trying to get a better position than men. Modern feminism is about women trying to get equal rights. Yeah, both sides have good arguments so far. I've seen a couple.
Who's the guy who posted the debate question? What's his name?
Chloe Dennis.
Oh, he doesn't have a weird name like the others.
Her name is Chloe. I'm assuming that's a girl.
Okay, so what are your thoughts? And we'll chime in. Oh, okay. We get to go first.
Yeah, go first. You always go first. Go first.
So I'd say that I'm in the camp that the first and second wave are needed because women had virtually no rights a while ago. But the third wave stuff, what's going on right now, just seems to have gotten way out of hand. I'm sure maybe in the beginning it had good intentions by people who honestly thought that stuff was going wrong or whatnot. But then, after a while, it seems to be taken over by these people that, for lack of better terms, just seem to be doing it because they basically feel offended or uncomfortable about how the world works and stuff. And their way of dealing with it is to get policies and certain things in place and PC culture and stuff just so they can feel more comfortable about certain issues and stuff like that. And I feel like, a rights movement shouldn't be just about your comfort, right? It should be more about like if actually somebody is lacking like actual, human rights or whatnot, or if somebody is really being discriminated heavily against, which I'm just not seeing in the Western world. Now, again, like that comment said, if we're talking Middle East, whatever, yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, you should probably get feminism that over there. But for here, just in the Western world and that, it really doesn't seem needed to me. Like all the things I've heard just seem either, really petty or or downright discriminatory the other way, like against men. So
I am in the opposite view. I think feminism is necessary, and I don't agree with a lot of feminists because the quote unquote third wave feminism, yeah, they're fucking morons, right? These like super uptight, we hate men people, fuck them. But I do agree with the equality of the sexes statement, and that's all I care about. And that's for both sides. And I do agree that feminism is not just for women, it's for men too. When you got things like most men who go through a divorce, whether or not the woman is a better parent or not, most men will not get custody of their kids. Because people tend to think that women are better parents, even if it's not true. You got things like, even though I do believe that a woman has a right to choose whether or not she has an abortion or not, I do think that the father should be able to have a say. I don't know to what extent that would be. But that's a tougher question. I really don't know what the solution is there. I do hear things like, oh, there's the wage gap, and the wage gap doesn't exist, right?
At least not in the way that they try to portray it does. Yeah. It exists for a very organic reason. It's not like this conspiracy out there like they try to paint it.
It's that women tend to be less interested in these really big executive jobs. I mean, yeah, there are some really awesome women who go for those jobs, but most tend to not do that. I don't know what the reason is.
Yeah, so it's almost like...
I'm not saying it's their fault or anything. I'm just saying that it's just what happens.
Right.
And
you'll...
yeah, go ahead.
You also have to keep in mind that with the whole wage gap thing, there's really only like... So, if it's not happening because of the organic thing, because women just happen to be more interested in certain jobs that don't necessarily pay as highly, if it's not happening for that reason, it might be the whole fact about, some women just feel discouraged for asking for a better pay when it comes to, getting a raise or whatnot, right? I'm not talking about your starting position or whatnot, but when it comes to the thing where the boss sits you down and says, here, I'm going to get you to this position, I'll pay you this whatever much an hour, right? And he basically gives you a lower number or whatnot than you think the work is worth, but, you don't speak up for yourself and try to negotiate something a little bit higher. And I heard, apparently, at least according to my dad, that happens sometimes, where it's like the women will get like the lower number or whatnot, because like they don't. But I don't know. That's more of a confidence thing. I feel like that doesn't have to be like this huge gender thing blown out of proportion. And if you are being paid, and the third thing is if you are being paid for exactly the same job, you're being paid lower. Well, because you're a woman or whatnot, then we'll talk to somebody because that's not even legal. So if that's actually happening, then you can fix the problem. It's not like if it really is as bad as these people say. Because I've seen people say in the comments where it's like, actually, I've worked at a job, whatnot, I was paid less just because of women. Well, then talk to somebody. That wasn't supposed to happen. It's like, come on, man.
And the thing is, like, they just tried to do this insurance thing, like Trump's new insurance thing, that would say things about whether or not a company would be willing to provide health insurance for things like birth control. And I don't think it should be a company that makes that decision. I think that should be for the women to decide, right? Or they just did the 20-week ban on abortions, which means you can't get an abortion within the first 20 weeks of your pregnancy, which I think is retarded. I think women should be able to choose or after 20 weeks of your pregnancy. And I don't think I think that's retarded. I think a woman should be allowed to choose when they do that.
Wait, after? Wait, so wait, is there a limit like to when?
After you can't do it after 20 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Which is right around the time you find out if there's any problems or not.
as somebody who's pro-life, I'd actually be for that.
Well, I'm not, because it's around 20 weeks where women start finding out if there's a problem with the pregnancy. And if they can't get an abortion after 20 weeks, then they're going to be carrying a dead child for the rest of the term. And that's not a good thing.
It's never detected early. Maybe there should just be more research so it can be detected early or whatnot.
Well, maybe.
But I'm against it, like, almost. There's only like a few instances I would accept there being an abortion. Like, I say I'm pro-life to an extent. There are instances where I do feel like it would be permissible, in my opinion. But
I'm more along the line of I don't, even if I disagreed with abortion outright, I don't care, because it's not my choice. It's their bodies, their choice, right? I don't care what their reason is. If they wanted to get an abortion, I'm not going to try and stop them, because I don't have a problem with it.
Well, how about the baby, though?
Well,
it's like it just dies, like, even though it should have rights too, because it's alive.
Well, to what extent, though? A fetus isn't alive until, like, no, it's not.
What do you mean?
There's no detectable heart rate. There's no detectable brain waves. There's no detectable pulse. There's no breath, no nothing. Until it starts breathing on its own, until it has a heart rate, it is part of the woman's body.
I don't know if you know how this works or not, but cells and that can still be alive, right? So even when it's a clump of cells, it's not a human, but it's still alive.
Then Troy should stop dumping a load in his socks, and we shouldn't remove tapeworms from our bowels when they're killing us, right?
What now?
What about Troy's socks?
If you're worried about cells, then Troy should just stop dumping a load in his socks.
I like worm crab taking my foot in our mind.
Wow, you tried on that one, didn't you?
It's not just a cell, though. It's like a bastille, whatever it's called. It's a clump of cells that does have the potential to grow into something more. That clump of cells, by its definition, is a multicellular organism now.
Okay, then if you get a tapeworm, you should leave it in your body, right?
Well, tapeworms aren't humans.
Well, neither is a fetus.
It will grow into human. What do you mean it's not a human? It's a human fetus. It's not just a fetus.
So what? So you want to give a non-thinking, non-breathing, non-heartbeat human a right over somebody else's body?
The only problem with that argument is that there's a lot of humans in that can't really think for themselves properly in that we can just kill off, in that opinion.
They're also not taking over somebody else's body.
They are taking up people's time, and does probably drive anxiety in that about how to take care of these people that are like really disabled and stuff.
And that's not the same thing as being inside of somebody's body.
Feels the same kind of morality kind of concept, though.
I don't agree. I mean,
still taking care of something,
a disabled person.
It's almost a selfless kind of act in a way.
A disabled person is still have a heartbeat. They still think. They may not be able to take care of themselves, but they can still do those things. We're talking about a fetus that doesn't have a heartbeat, doesn't think, doesn't even breathe on its own, doesn't even eat on its own.
How about the people that are born with just like a brainstem or whatnot, but they're still kept alive? That actually doesn't apply to everybody who it comes out wrong.
Well, I still don't think that's up to me. I think that should be up to the parents.
I just feel like the only problem is that for every legit reason that I would say, okay, then yes, I guess I'd find abortion permissible, there seems to be a whole bunch of these other reasons that don't seem as legit to me. And the solution would be to find some sort of solution to all this ahead of time. Like, I don't like even saying I'm pro-life. I like saying I'm pro, like, before the baby's even born, birth control. That's what should be researched on. So this isn't even a problem in the first place. Because, if you don't want to screw around, I understand, that's fine. It feels good and everything. But we have to find a solution so that way when there's a baby you don't want comes, you're not going to just be killing it because, I don't want it. Or I don't feel like I'm ready or whatever.
I think the only solution is to just let women have their right to choose. That's the only viable solution. Give them
I think
power
the solution
over
is
their
more.
own bodies, over their own lives. They should have that right. And when
I
you
think the solution.
can't get an abortion, you're taking away their power over their lives and their bodies, and that's not right.
Like
Well,
poops
I
a little
think
bit.
this.
Is that right?
Well, again, I honestly feel like the solution would be just to put more research into some of the areas so we prevent things, right? Because I like to, when it comes to these kind of social issues, I like to go to the root of the problem instead of trying to deal with all the, um, repercussions of something that could have easily have been prevented, right?
No,
So if something is easily preventable, it's like, what, abortion shouldn't even be a thing, in my opinion. But because we have not solved the problem yet, we should put more funds there. But since we haven't solved it yet, let's just hold on for a bit.
No, the thing is, we have solved the problem, and it has been proven time and time again that the best way to prevent these things, STDs, unwanted pregnancies, abortions, etc., is education. It has proven time and time again to work. The South, like Texas, has terrible education on sex education, and they have more teen pregnancies than pretty much anywhere else in the fucking states. And those places where they have better education on sex and shit like that, much less teen pregnancies because people are fucking smarter.
Right.
Works time and time again. That's the solution.
Right. I'd agree with you.
Even when it doesn't work, a woman should still have their right to have power over their own bodies and their own lives.
I agree with you. I just want to find a solution that's more, what do you say, more, I guess, viable, or something that's going to work more than just, like 80% of the time or whatever.
Well, the thing
try to get up at least in the 90 or 95 or even 99.999% of the time, because a lot of our methods that we have, including pills and stuff, they're not really perfect yet.
Well, no, they're not going to be. I don't think there is a such thing as a perfect prevention, right? And even if we did have one, you're expecting people to be 100% responsible, and we are humans. We make mistakes.
Why can't we just improve the pills? Happen. The same way we improve vaccines and stuff. It's like, don't get me wrong, you can still die from a flu, but nowadays it's very, very, very unlikely. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but we've improved the thing so much that it's like nothing. Meanwhile, back in the day, that would have been a killer.
The pills takes are 97% effective if they're done right. Okay, and even then, she could make a mistake. She could take a pill late by accident. She could miss a day by accident. And that shit does happen sometimes. So you can only be as perfect as you are human, and that's not possible. Okay? So mistakes are still going to happen.
Well, the only thing is, like, if you don't take, for instance, certain medication for certain disease or whatever, some things where it's like if you skip out a day or whatnot, that might actually be pretty bad. So if you don't take care of yourself, things will still go wrong. So going back to the whole birth control pill thing, so are we really going to use that as an excuse because somebody just didn't follow the instructions properly or whatnot? It's like if you're going to go out there and you're going to put yourself on the line, in the whole, I guess you call it spread and seed business or whatnot, then you better be.
It's called sex.
I was just making something funny.
It backfired.
So if you're gonna be going out there doing that though, like you got to realize like I guess how serious of a thing it can be. So therefore, make sure you're following the instructions and everything, right? Well, like mistake at that point is an excuse. It's almost like with people who work with really deadly viruses or whatnot, right? And they have to wear the full suits and they have like this disinfectant and all that. They can't afford to really skip a step. Or once they walk out of the lab, they can infect the entire place with like the virus or whatnot. Like that's just how dangerous it is.
But you're equating a deadly virus and people taking care of that virus with people taking birth control pills, and they don't align with each other. That's equivocation fallacy, right? You're still expecting to be more perfect than they are human, and that's not possible. Mistakes are still going to happen.
Right, but if the mistake happens, you kind of have to deal with the consequence.
I don't think you should have to. I would never in a million years.
I pay for mistakes all the time that I've made when I was younger. Still paying for some of them.
Okay, just because you're doing it doesn't mean everybody should have to. I would disagree with that. Just because you get into an accident in a car doesn't mean I don't think you should pay off somebody else's car until you're fucking 80 years old. That's stupid. I don't think you should have to pay your entire life just because you made a fucking mistake. That's retarded.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're actually dealing with another life there, right?
Yeah, inside of somebody else's body.
There's a difference between property damage and then, somebody else's life. And we also got another life involved too. See, again, we got 2 lives or whatnot. So why is the one life that never even technically asked to be born just going to get killed off all of a sudden because somebody?
Because the woman should have power over their own body. How hard is that?
They can without
their own body.
They can without having have to take something else's life too. There's many different other ways that women have power over their own bodies. It doesn't have to be through potentially killing off another life.
But you realize that the woman has to go through 9 months of practical hell, right? They get sick, they gain weight, they have to go through a bunch of shit that they don't want to go through.
Yeah,
that makes them miserable. So
that's why you don't try not to make a mistake with the countermeasures we have.
All of this gets going to happen, Trill. That's what you don't understand. They're still going to happen. The mistakes are still going to happen.
Right, but that's the same thing with other laws and that too. Like when you
shouldn't have to pay for a mistake for the rest of your life.
But there's a lot of people that they have like a moment of anger or whatnot, and they go kill somebody or whatnot. Then they have to pay for the mistake for the rest of their life, and they get caught and they get put in jail.
Not necessarily.
Sometimes there are psychotic people, but there's other times where they kind of go to themselves like, holy crap, like I really fucked up, but I was like really angry in the moment and everything.
Okay, yeah, but how often do crimes of passion get life in jail?
Do they still get jail time?
Well, yeah, but they don't have to spend the rest of their lives in jail.
Right.
I mean, at the most, you're spending a few years in jail for taking a living person's life. Now you're
right.
But you're equating a living person with a fetus that doesn't even have a heartbeat yet.
No, and the thing is, I think what you're not realizing is that the whole birth thing, that's not the rest of your life either. Because once the child is to term, if you really don't want it, you can give it up for adoption.
Yeah, let's give it up for adoption in a system where 90% of the kids that are in those services do not get adopted, and what is it, like 20-25% of them end up homeless afterwards because they can't get adopted. Yeah, let's put them in that system. That helps.
Well, again, the problem is that if you can't prevent it or whatnot, then you do have to deal with the consequences.
No, I don't think you should have to deal with those consequences. I think that's retarded. I think the financial consequences of having to pay for an abortion is enough.
Yeah, just the only thing I'd say, and I'll just leave it there. I don't want to get it like too deep into this because you are my friend and everything. But the thing is that, well, my answer is life kind of sucks that way. Like I don't want there to be a God, but I still believe there is one, and he's really judgmental and everything. I don't want that to be the case, but that's how it is, right? I don't even want there to be a hell, but that's how it is. Now, the best thing that I can do.
How it has to.
What?
I said that just because that's the way things are doesn't mean that's the way it has to be.
Unless you can't really do anything otherwise.
Yes, you can. You can give the woman the right to choose. That's doing something about it.
Except that, again, it doesn't solve the whole, baby getting murdered thing.
It's not a baby until it's a heartbeat 3 months in. They don't have a heartbeat until 3 months in. It's not a baby yet.
Well, we've already been through this. It's still a multicellular organism.
So is a tapeworm.
Yeah, but it's not a human though. It doesn't have the potential to be a human. None of that stuff.
So what? So what?
Also, doesn't have a spirit.
One human the right over somebody else's body. That's not right. You're giving a human that doesn't breathe. You're giving a being that has no power over somebody else's body. That's not right.
The thing is, and I was just talking about the normal scenario. I already said that I'm pro-life to an extent. If it's honestly going to like kill the mother or whatnot, or if they were, it happened, out of rape or whatnot, I wouldn't be for it. But when it's just somebody who's just fooling around and just makes an oopsies, it's like, no, that's not going to cut it for me.
I'm fine with
Lots
that.
of things in my life that were just oopsies, and that, you know what, I pay for them. It doesn't matter if they're oopsies or not. The consequences still go on.
Doopsie.
Yeah, exactly.
I would never wish that on somebody where they have to give up things like their career, their health, their body, whatever they want, whatever they would have to give up in order to take care of a child for 18 years. I would not be for that.
Well, they don't have to take care. Again, they could just put it to adoption, but you already have a problem with that.
Into a system where historically treats kids. I'm going to try and get Troy, Patrick. I'm going to try and get Patrick on this show. He's a budding politician in Colorado. He's a friend of mine. He's been my best friend for years, and he was in that system as well as I. I was in there for a couple months, and maybe we'll talk to you about that because the system is terrible.
The easy solution is, if you don't want kids, it's not to screw until we have the system down pat.
Cut off your man's fucking ball sack until he's ready to have kids.
The system is fine. What we need is education. And even then, mistakes happen, and you're asking people to pay their life for mistakes, and I'm not for that. I can't condone that.
I can't be your friend.
I guess that's where we agree to disagree. Because like Troy was trying to say, it's like, I don't want this to be like, I can't be your friend anymore over the fact that we disagree on something politically, but yeah. That was fun.
I believe every woman has a right with their body.
Thank you, Troy.
It's like if a woman gets raped and she has a baby. And a lot of people, I heard people say this more than once, that, well, you shouldn't be wearing something revealing. Like, no, it's wrong to rape a woman. If she wants to give an abortion, that's her body, her reason. It's not up to me or us. It's not up to the fucking president or the government. It's up to her.
If there's someone who's a predator out there, they're going to be looking for somebody who's more weak in that anyhow. And if you're all like, like a small person, you're all like, covered up and look like, Mrs. Fuddy Duddy or whatnot, that looks way more weak than somebody who is willing to like show off and stuff. So if anything, dressing up more, I'd feel, if you're in like a dark alleyway, that would lead more to a rape. But that's just me.
Oh, I wouldn't fuck with the bitch in heels. That bitch would fuck me up. That's a powerful fucking woman right there. Anyway,
if that happened, then I would say that, yeah, that would be an exception, and abortion can happen if it was for rape, which I've already said.
But anyway, I'm gonna leave this here. The people got a nice little debate for an extra half hour or something like that.
All right.
But yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave this episode here. Troy never has anything, so don't bother looking him up. He actually might.
Live chat? Did the live chat say anything?
No, nothing in the live chat. Troy actually might have a Twitch. Just look. Something. I'm sure you'll find him somewhere on Twitch. Trill does music. Look up young Trill. Troy, your robot-y again. Just type it in the chat. Trill has music. You can look up Young Trillion on YouTube and SoundCloud. He has a new EP coming out, I guess. It's probably going to be shit.
Hey, now this one will redeem me.
And then, of course, there's me. Subscribe here. I'm one person away from 30 subscribers. Help me out with that. If you do that, maybe I'll put out a reply video to someone. I don't know. Reward you for subscribing as if I give a shit. And then look at my Minecraft channel. Just look up Pin Valentine without the MX. Remember, that's family friendly. So if you go over there in the comment, stay family friendly, please. And yeah, I guess that's it. I would love you all more if you weren't adopted. And TTFN.
Yeah.